Right, so yesterday, on the 5th of September, MultiChoice broke the news on the 18th annual Safta nominees, and it happened right here on the AM report. The group highlighted shows and talented individuals that were nominated and stand out in their stable. Tshedza Pictures leads the pack with 29 nominations for productions such as Outlaws and The River. The Bomb Shelter Film Company received 20 nominations, 17 of which were for Shaka Ilembe and many more. Well, this morning we are joined by some of the nominees. We'll be in conversation with Phathu Makwarela, who's writer and executive producer and co-owner of Tshedza Pictures. We'll speak to Best Actor nominee Thembinkosi Mthembu, as well as nominee for Best Actress Nomzamo Mbatha, who happens to join us now on set of Shaka Ilembe. Obviously a very hard-working woman conducting this interview while also getting ready to deliver her lines. So I don't know if I'm speaking to Nomzamo or Nandi, but good morning and congratulations. Let's start there. How are you feeling?
Oh my goodness, it's such an unreal feeling. Gosh, and of course in true dramatic form, we're in the middle of our set, so you guys get a sneak peek. But we're so excited. You can just feel the buzzing energy on set. We have a crew of over 250 people who really put in so much work. So to see their work be celebrated in such a fashion, to be the highest nominated show at the Saftas this year is just incredible. So the feeling is beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, well, congratulations, because it must be absolutely exciting. I'm tempted to say, show us around where you are, but I guess we get a look at the set every time we watch Shaka Ilembe, but well-deserved. I don't think anybody can argue with that. Other nominees now joining us in studio, Phathu Makwarela, who's writer, executive producer and co-owner of Tshedza Pictures. Congratulations. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, really good to have you with us. We're also joined by Thembinkosi Mthembu, nominee for Best Actor. 4 nominations.
Yeah.
And this is for 4 different roles, right?
Yeah.
It's so good to have you with us. Congratulations. I'm going to start with you, Thembinkosi. How are you feeling? How do you make sense of getting 4 nominations for 4 different roles?
I'm still in disbelief.
Yeah.
You know, I woke up in the morning, being show, but angizange ngifike to where vele ukuthi oba nama nominations. So I started working M7.
Oh, you watched the AM report?
Yes, I did. But ngaphazamiseka because I had to go to work. I think like 3 hours later, director came to me and said congrats.
Yeah.
Ngajabula thinking, okay, finally I got Ilokuza Safta nomination. Only to find out it's 4 different roles. Yeah.
That's wild, hey?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Phathu, welcome as well. Congratulations. Talk to us about your nominations. I mean, you guys did incredibly well. What is it, 29?
We didn't do bad.
No, you don't say.
We didn't do bad. But, you know, television is a very difficult business.
Yeah.
And these kind of nominations are really a celebration of all the hours that our cast and crew put in, 12 hours a day. And for us, I mean, it's really for them. I think that's really, it's an honor for them, for all their hard work being seen. One couldn't ask for more.
You know, I think about the quality of the work that we produce as a country. And Nomzamo, I'm going to bring you in here also because I want to see as much of that set as possible because it's so stunning. You know, I think about the quality of work that we produce as South Africans and how, you know, our productions aren't just for us anymore. We don't tell stories just for South Africans anymore, even if we are telling these stories in isiZulu, which I found particularly interesting, right? So we celebrate ourselves with the Saftas, for instance. But Nomzamo, talk to me about how, you know, we're being celebrated globally for these stories and what that feels like as well.
It's an extra added excitement and an extra added feeling. You know, we must also remember that we are hyper-local. We must make stories for our people and by our people because we're proud Africans. You know, we look at the entire world and how they are also like super strong when it comes to telling their own stories. And when we do that, it's almost like making a braai. If you smell the smoke, you'll come to the braai.
Yeah,
so that's what we're doing. You know, last year was a fantastic year in terms of content and the amount of stories that were told. But for us, it also is an added motivation and encouragement that we are telling the right stories in the best way that we can. To be able to see our stories be celebrated around the world. I mean, we've been able to screen Shaka Ilembe in so many different parts of the world, and each time there's such a beautiful appetite and a beautiful reception. So it's another form of saying to the broadcaster that, you know, let's continue to invest in local content. Let's continue to invest in Africa, our home, and tell more African stories that are catered for us, but of course, that can be also be appealing to the international market.
Yeah.
So it's a fantastic feeling, really.
So let's not also forget that Nomzamo, was it just recently you won the award for Best African Actress in Amsterdam in the Septimius Award. So congratulations on that. She just keeps on winning and putting us on the world stage. And as we talk about the quality of stories that we tell here in the country, Phathu, and certainly how we celebrate it on platforms like the Saftas, I think about how we're telling stories of individual places, right? So talk to us about stories like Gqeberha and what they've taught you about the market, right? Because what I find quite interesting is you've got people that want to watch because they resonate with the place, right?
I mean, I think South Africa is a curious nation,
yeah,
you know, and so is the rest of Africa. So even when we did a show like Gqeberha, we're like, we can shoot it in Johannesburg, but we might lose a bit of authenticity. So we're like, let's take the whole entire production and shoot it on location in the Eastern Cape. Very challenging, but that kind of authenticity, you couldn't get it had you shot in Johannesburg. And I think that's what has allowed even the show to be nominated for Best Telenovela, is that we continuously strive to bring authenticity in the storytelling that we tell.
Yeah.
Which, as you are saying, it travels globally. You know, this shows you are traveling somewhere and on the plane, you stumble upon an episode of a show, you're like, oh, this is a show, I'm on my way to Turkey, people are watching a South African show.
Wow.
In a language they don't know, but there are subtitles, which means stories are universal wherever you go.
Yeah. You know, Thembinkosi, we had just recently Ubabusi Postole here in studio with us, and he brought some students from the US and he's teaching them isiZulu, and I thought, this is the most interesting thing, right? Yeah. For an everyday South African okhuluma isiZulu, they'd think, no, to be on TV and to be this big superstar,
yeah,
I have to.
Yeah,
and now people want to learn. I mean, how do you feel about that, right? The celebration of our culture.
No, kuyajabulisa kakhulu because akuthina sonke mhlambe who went to like multiracial schools, abanye siphuma in township schools. So mhlambe you want to be an actor, awusakwazi manje mhlambe to book a role because awukwazi ukukhuluma the English. So ukuthi kube khona ama shows this much which are done in Veneg, I think kuyasebenzela for umfana uphuma elokishini, umfana uphuma emakhaya who's talented as umuntu uphuma in multiracial schools.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For that young boy who's watching then Thembinkosi and says, yeah, manam ngiyafuna, I also want to get to where you are. What do you say are the things that you simply cannot get wrong, that you have to get done? If you want to be Thembinkosi Mthembu with 4 nominations, what are the things that they have to get right?
For me now, just be honest with yourself. If you want something, in front of people who pretend to know I want this, I want sebenza kwi-craft yakho, work on yourself. Nako konke nje ofuna ukuthi ube nakho to achieve whatever that you want as a dream. Yeah.
So which one do you think you're winning?
So when I go
am I putting him in a corner? I see Nomzamo also shaking his head. So yeah, you're putting us in a corner here.
This is our king. This is our king. So
Yeah.
we're rooting for him. That he's already made history of, he must just take all of them.
Yeah. Nomzamo, let me stay with you. When you interact with people on a daily basis about the stories that you guys tell, what do you get? You know, what's the feeling that you get? Because I think that, like Thembinkosi is saying, we all want to be certain stars. We think there are, you know, expectations on us, but we don't realize the impact of what we're doing. I've had friends and parents who say, watching Shaka Ilembe, the house just stops. You know, the children are glued to the TV because they're learning so much about themselves. I mean, what do you take from that, Nomzamo?
Gosh, I think we always knew that we had such a heavy responsibility, you know, and that's why it is such a heavy laden project that has taken so long to make itself appear on screen, I suppose. But you really think about the kind of research and the kind of putting together of excellent people to bring the story to life, because we knew is Zulu. I mean, I thought I knew Zulu, but is Zulu being aside because this is French Zulu that we're speaking. You know, set design, you look at the set design, the authenticity of making sure how huts were built in the 17 and 1800s, that kind of history and that kind of research is brought forward to the screen, because we know the kind of responsibility that we have set, number one, but also people have been waiting for this kind of story. So when you interact with people on the street and they say, Magam Lilwana, which is not a common name that a lot of people even knew.
Wow.
King Shaka was told by his mother, you know? So those are the small things, but also you see the pride. You see the pride in young Zulu maidens who now want to learn more about their culture. We have to preserve history, we have to preserve culture, and we have to preserve language. So this kind of show for us really meant a great deal, because we knew, Uguti, at the end of the day, people had a certain version of what King Shaka was, and we had a responsibility to bring a different perspective. Season 1 was really about the kingmakers, which were the women. And it was beautiful to see how empowered women felt, you know, with, hey, gahle. It wasn't just Ushaka, you know, there was also Umkabai, there was also Umtania, there was also who's Queen Ndombazi, you know, so many incredible queens and women at the forefront. But in case you cut me, I've got to just give a shout out to our showrunner, our executive producer, our producer extraordinaire, Desiree Machraf, who is just, she's always got a whip in her hand, and she just puts us all in a point of excellence to really bring forth the best kind of work. And this kind of show wouldn't be here without that. So shout out to her, and shout out to Nomza. Thank you for believing in the show. Thank you for saying yes to all the asks as well. So I'm just in a great spirit, really.
And you're putting us in that great spirit as well. I can tell you that the energy is absolutely infectious. Talk to me about your experience. Thembinkosi, when you walk down the road, what do people say to you? What do they call you? You know, how does that feel?
On a normal day.
Yeah.
Gama character maning.
Yeah.
Yeah, ngijwayele ukubizwa uDingiswayo. Abantu i-character thing abayithanda kakhulu is Ubonga.
Yeah.
Ubonga on adulting.
Yeah.
I think Amajens, they relate to him.
Adulting.
As a storyline, yeah. Emakhaya Mabuto, they really love Mabuto. Yeah. I'm a character hlukile abajwayele ungibiza.
Yeah, adulting is getting people talking on television.
It's a great show.
I think it's saucy, and that's what I've enjoyed about it, is how saucy it is. Phathu, I wanna do this. You know, there's something to be said about how we are developing the industry, and there's, you know, questions around whether or not we're growing the industry, we're finding new talent. What does the industry need, and how do award ceremonies like Safta really help to elevate the work that's being done?
You know, like I said in the beginning, television is a slog. It's tiring. The budgets are never enough.
Ever.
You know, but everybody comes on set with a passion and a desire. And platforms like the Saftas amplify people's voices. And really, I kind of feel like they are the facilitator of every dreamer out there. It's an affirmation of, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. And really, I think it also gives us exposure to even a global market that, you know, when people look at South Africa, the Saftas become the barometer of excellence.
Yeah, thank you.
And that whenever I go to other markets and I said, I've got 29 nominations from the Saftas.
Sure.
That is a star of excellence in a global platform. And that really is what these awards mean to all of us.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone works so hard to get as many nominations as they do.
Yeah. Okay, a final question, and that's because I'm excited about the ceremony itself. Outfit, what are you doing, Phathu?
It's probably going to be something by Tshepothala. I don't know what it is.
Great outfit, Dom.
Suti or dressed by gallant.
Okay.
Always, yeah.
Great. You know, Nomzamo, I'm going to end with you because everybody will be watching to see with great anticipation what you'll be wearing at the Saftas. Any sort of, I know you won't tell us, but a hint, a tip, an idea, something?
You know, because this year Indlovukazi Nandi is I'll definitely be dressed in something that's an homage to the kind of history that she has made. So yeah. It'll be a spectacle. People a show, guys.
You've never been expectable, and we are dazzled every single time. Ladies, Nomzamo, thank you so much for speaking to us. Phathu, an absolute pleasure having you in studio as well. Thembinkosi, thank you so much. Thembinkosi Mthembu, nominated for Best Actor, 4 nominations for him as well. Phathu Makwarela, writer, executive producer, and co-owner of Tshedza Pictures, with 29 nominations. My goodness. Nomzamo Mbatha, nominee for Best Actress, and she is speaking to us on the set of Shaka Ilembe in her full Nandi regalia. Absolutely breathtaking. And of course, as we get closer to the awards, we'll be bringing you the run-up to it as well.